Hey, Impact families. I just wanted to say hi this evening, see how you're doing, and just to kind of introduce our lesson for the evening, our study for the evening. If you wouldn't mind, at the end of this, if you would text me, message me, comment in the video below, something along those lines, call me if you want to. Do whatever you need to do. Just let me know what you thought about the video, what you thought about the lesson, if this is a good way to do family nights. I'm willing to do more of them like this. And if you thought this was a good way to do it, I'm happy to do that. If you liked the in-person one, like we did with the first one, where we kind of did family versus family game, and then kind of scattered throughout the sanctuary to do our study, we can do it that way too. So just let me know, comment, message me, something along those lines. Let me know what you think. This evening, hopefully you're watching this, Sunday evening for Impact. This evening, though, we're going to be focusing on kind of family. We're going to talk about legacy and that kind of thing. So when I think of family, I think of more than just our immediate in-house family, like, mother, father, children, that kind of thing. I think of a lot more than that, like uncles, aunts, grandparents, and eventually grandchildren. We were going to do the talk, but I decided, this is experimental video. So let's keep that for something that's in person. I thought that would be better. So tonight, instead, we're going to be discussing family and legacy and what that means for us as Christians. And legacy just simply is what gets passed down or left behind to the generation that's next to come. So before the video, you discussed some questions, hopefully, setting this up. And if you haven't, please take time, pause the video now. See, I did a little pause so you could pause. Pause the video now and feel free to do those. Look those up. I have those posted. And do those couple of questions in that starter verse there. If you have gone through the starter questions, let's get going forward. Let's get moving. On second thought, it's hard to talk about legacy or leaving something behind without also talking about kind of the origins of that thing that you're leaving behind. So I can't think of better origin examples outside of the Bible other than superheroes. And some of you, that's not surprising that I'm willing to bring up superheroes. And most of you probably know who my favorite superhero is. Obviously, we know that my favorite superhero is Batman. Batman, also known as Bruce Wayne, or Bruce Wayne, also known as Batman, whichever way you want, has the most well-known origin story probably of any superhero. And one night, I'll give a brief, snapshot of that story so that we can understand, and then kind of tie it in with what we're going to be discussing. One night, as Bruce and his parents were strolling through the streets of Gotham, right? Superheroes, I love this. They're leaving this play, this acting that they went to, and as they're strolling along, a robber comes and he's trying to rob the family, and Bruce's dad steps in, and then he gets shot, and then the mom gets shot, and now Bruce is an orphan, which is obviously very sad. Bruce would later become Batman, confronting his fears of bats and making the criminals around him that he was trying to go after, afraid of bats, right? Batman. Bruce pushed to be like his father and fighting off criminals, but he did a better job, right? Because he doesn't die. So Bruce has this legacy behind him of being brave and wanting to do the right thing, like his father did, like he saw his father die doing. Interestingly, I don't know if you've caught the buzz yet, but this past month, Batman's #1 villain has come out with his very own origin story movie. And I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to ruin it for anybody if you plan on watching that. So I won't ruin it for you, but I have read and I've heard some of what the movie's about and how the Joker gets started. His origin story traces back to a traumatic upbringing and a very traumatic and troubling home life and an untreated mental illness. And all this leads to his breakdown and his villainy, um, and him just being crazy and laughing all the time. And I've read some really interesting articles on, psychologists' thoughts on the Joker if he were to be a real person, and what kind of home life he would have had to have been brought up in, and the mental illnesses and that kind of stuff. And all these things, both things, Batman and the Joker, at least in this origin story of the Joker, both of them deal with the legacy that a family leaves behind. For Batman, it's being brave and pushing to do the right thing. In the Joker, it's mental illness and not getting it situated, and being traumatized and not getting that handled. And I see some of that in the movie. In the Bible, we see similar patterns and origins of kings of Israel. We are about to look into a portion of Scripture that's rarely looked at, so that should be pretty exciting. But it's important for families. I feel like this book is kind of really important for us to catch the nature of humanity and the way we view family. And it's very important to catch on. When God wrote something down in the Scripture, one, it was to see how God related to us and was still trying to pursue us, but also it was God's lesson to us. So we need to learn that lesson, learn those principles so that we can be better. We are about to look into that, and have fun pronouncing the names that you're going to read. It's Hebrew, so when the H shows up, add a little phlegm to it, that sound. It's Hebrew, that's what they do. So have some fun with that, and go ahead and pause now, and everybody get your discussion questions up, and the discussion, document up on your phones, and feel free to get started and get going. All right, so it seems as though you've reached this point in the video, on this point in the study. Hopefully you've had some time to really discuss with one another, discuss as a family, those things that run in the family, those things that are legacy that even though we don't want them to be, or inherited, even though we don't want them to be, or even if we do, they're there. And so hopefully faith is one of those things that we can leave behind as parents, and teenagers as children we can pick up from our parents and even build upon and make it better, draw closer to God than our parents have. And I hope and I pray you guys had some great discussion, and that it wasn't just surface level stuff. These aren't designed to be surface level. Your family, I mean, you already know one another, and there's nothing that you can be embarrassed about. You need to know one another, and need to know the things that to watch out for. So I hope this has been an eye-opening thing, and you had some good time and discussing with one another. Please take some time, pray with one another, pray, children for your parents for your children. Take some time to do that, and really mean what you're about to pray for one another. Bring the heart into it. Don't just let it be hopeful words cast to the ceiling, but you're speaking to God that can do anything. And so just pray for your family like you love them. And then also, it's the end of the study, after the prayer time, please message me, let me know, comment something, do something to let me know what you thought about this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for doing the family night. I hope you had a lot of fun as a family, great discussion as a family. I love you guys, and we'll be praying for you guys. Thanks.